How to break free from addictions to spending, social media, and smartphones. In today's world, addiction isn't just about substances. We're surrounded by behaviors that can become just as addictive. Whether it's compulsive spending, endless scrolling on social media, or constantly checking our smartphones. These behaviors can start as small habits, but quickly grow into things that dominate our time, our emotions, and sometimes even our finances. Today, we're diving into how these behaviors, spending, social media, and smartphone use, fit into the cycle of addiction. I'll share specific tips to help you break free, reclaim control over your habits, and start making positive changes. Recognizing the cycle of addiction in spending and shopping habits. Let's start with spending and shopping habits. For many, the thrill of buying something new is a quick escape, a hit of dopamine that feels exciting and satisfying. But when spending becomes a go-to response to stress or emotional discomfort, it can lead to financial issues and deeper feelings of emptiness. In the cycle of addiction, this often begins with an emotional wound or trigger. Maybe it's boredom, stress, or loneliness. Shopping or spending gives a temporary high, a momentary relief from that discomfort. But soon after, the guilt or regret sets in, leading to the next urge to buy something else, and the cycle continues. Here's how you can start breaking that cycle with spending. First, set spending limits. Give yourself a weekly or monthly budget and stick to it. This creates a boundary that helps control impulsive purchases. Second, replace shopping with rewarding activities. When you feel the urge to buy something, replace it with an activity that brings you joy, like a hobby, a walk, or reading. Track your emotions. Keep a journal of when and why you're spending. This helps identify emotional triggers so you can work on addressing them without the need for retail therapy. Breaking free from social media addiction. Social media is another behavior that easily becomes addictive. For many, checking social media feels like staying connected, but it can quickly become a source of stress, comparison, or even anxiety. Social media platforms are designed to be engaging, but they often end up consuming more of our time and energy than we intend. In the cycle of addiction, social media often serves as an escape for discomfort. Whether it's loneliness, boredom, or feeling out of the loop, the likes, comments, and notifications give a temporary high, but when that fades, it gives a craving for more interaction, and the cycle continues. Here's how you can start taking control of your social media use. First, set screen time limits. Use app timers or phone settings to limit your time on social media platforms. This boundary makes it easier to disconnect. Replace scrolling with engaging activities. When you feel the urge to check social media, replace that with something active, like stretching, reading, or even chatting with someone in real life. Third, unfollow or mute negative influences. Clear your feeds of accounts that make you feel anxious or inadequate. If you're going to use social media, surround yourself with content that is uplifting and positive. Have you noticed when and why you tend to check social media? Awareness is the first step to breaking free. Managing smartphone dependence. Finally, let's talk about smartphone dependence. In our digital world, smartphones have become an essential tool, but they can also lead to overuse, distraction, and even addiction. For many, checking the phone becomes a reflex, something we do when there's a lull in the day. In the cycle of addiction, smartphone use often fills a need for stimulation, connection, or relief from boredom. Notifications, apps, and social media make it easy to reach for our phones constantly, even when there's no real need. This cycle of checking the phone for temporary relief can create a dependency that's hard to break. Here's how to start managing smartphone dependence. 1. Create phone-free zones. Set aside specific areas or times of day when you don't use your phone, like during meals or before bed. 2. Only allow notifications for critical apps and mute everything else. This helps reduce the impulse to check your phone constantly. 3. Engage in screen-free activities. When you feel the urge to reach for your phone, replace it with something offline, like a book, an outdoor walk, or spending time with loved ones or friends. What would you do with your time if you weren't constantly checking your phone? Think about the potential for reconnecting with yourself and others. Breaking free from these modern-day addictions, spending, social media, and smartphones isn't easy, but with the right steps, you can regain control over your habits and start living a more balanced life. In the next video, we'll be diving into another set of addictions, substances like kratom, THC, nicotine, and alcohol. Just like these behaviors, substances can become deeply ingrained in our lives. We'll explore practical strategies to help break free from these substances as well. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. What habit are you working on? And what's been your biggest challenge in breaking free? Let's support each other on this journey. Thank you and take care.